Hello. 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 Hi. Good evening and welcome to the Hemingway Jones live fountain pen show. One of those nights when I am just barely making showtime, but sometimes it's fun to do things by the seat of your pants. So, welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling, just about everything and anything to keep you inspired. I used to say that before every video, but now I save it for the live show. But it's a lot of fun. It's always interesting to keep things kind of varied and rolling. We've been doing a lot of different kinds of videos lately. A lot of fun stuff that I am very proud of. Very proud indeed. So if you watch the show on a regular basis, I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe. Love to have you on this journey with us because we do go to some pretty amazing places. Something different every time. And we just hit 25,000 people on this journey with us. So thank you to each and every one of you for watching, for commenting, for joining in the conversation. It means the world to me and I appreciate it. And a special thanks to the members of this channel. We have a wonderful, lovely group of members who are very active in the community that we've built here. Very active in the pen pal group for Illuminati and Cognoscenti members. We have a pen pal group where we exchange letters. It's a lot of fun. And I do try to put up videos that only members can get that are really interesting too. But don't feel left out because I also put out extra videos for you. And it's been a bit of a problem, to be honest. And it's the whole idea of when do I put out a special video? So over the weekend, I put out a video on my journey to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City to see the Caspar David Friedrich Wanderer Above the Sea of Fog. And it was a lot of fun both to see it and then to create a video of the experience, which was something that I had intended to do. I didn't know which direction the plot would go, the commentary. So I wrote it and then I asked my wife, like, is this too dark? Did I just get dark? And maybe it is a little dark in spots, but it was very, very honest. And my wife and I talked about it and she said, you know what? It was the story that you have to tell. It's your story. So why worry if it's a little dark or even vulnerable, as some folks put it? It's called In Search of the Wanderer, if you haven't seen it. I know it came out at a weird time. I didn't think it would be particularly popular because it's so personal and it's about an obscure painting from an obscure painter, a German romantic. But I do feel it's a pretty compelling video if you like my style of editing videos and maybe want to see me do something a little different, something that's a bit more personal. Maybe I would say vloggy, but I'm only speak to the camera once in the course of the video. But I definitely talk about this painting and what it means to me on a profound basis and how it was to see it and the sort of dark moments in my life. Because there's a lesson in this painting that a lot of people miss. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. You might enjoy it. But getting back to the sort of conundrum of doing things, I don't want to put sort of extracurricular, curricular, Some words I cannot master. I don't want to put the extra videos within the sort of confines of the channel. I feel like if I had put it up on a Tuesday night, even as a premiere, you guys might feel shortchanged because we usually do this. Tonight we're going to speak about pens, the pens I'm using. I have a cool book to show you. I have a few other things to show you too, but they're out of reach, so I don't know. They might have to wait till next week. I want to tell you about a bunch of stuff that's going on. I think you'll find it really interesting. And hey, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I see a lot of thumbs up flying in. I appreciate that. So, I see Mary Beth Orr saying something very nice about the Wanderer video. Thank you very much. Love looking for the Wanderer video. I love the painting. I love the Met. Peripheral very much enjoyed seeing you be open and vulnerable. Thank you. Thank you. I do try to be at all times, but it's certainly, a lot of that was about mental health and some of the challenges and kind of the things I face on a daily basis kind of a thing. So check it out if you haven't seen it. And thank you, Mary Beth. So what I was saying is that I don't want to put it on a Tuesday night and then you don't get to have this, which I also enjoy. And I think it's a lot of fun, which is why I try to do as many Tuesday nights as I can throughout the year. And then I didn't want to put it on a Thursday either because Thursdays I feel are just for channel content. And I think that was just so personal and so unique. It just didn't really fit into all the confines of the channel. That's why at one point I was thinking of creating another channel, but I can barely keep this channel going. I'm so busy. Thank you guys for the likes. I really appreciate it. I see them and I appreciate it. Life is rough. It's a challenge. Chris B, hi all. Hi HJ. I love The Wanderer. Can't wait to go see it myself. I can't wait for you to see it. That should be absolutely wonderful. So, Karen, my friend Karen says, seeing you dangling off a mountain was unexpected too. Yes, that's a highlight of that video. There are not easy to find pictures of me climbing because the peak of my rock climbing was in the 1990s. So it was a long time ago. I have a few gym pics since then, but they're not nearly as dramatic as seeing me at the Garden of the Gods or at the Shawgunk Mountains in New York. So, if you want to see some rock climbing images of me, that's on there too. So check out that video if you would. Tracy, hi. Wanderer video was great. Loved it. Thank you, Tracy. Very, very kind. So I appreciate all the love. And by the way, guys, I know I'm a big baby about views sometimes. And I get that. I don't have a lot to complain about these days. Videos have been doing really well. And the reception has been really, really grand. So I can't, in all clear consciousness, complain. Even with the Wanderer video, it didn't get the kind of attention that my other videos get, but I didn't think it would because it's so niche and it's out of the mainstream. But the things that people said, how they connected with it, how they felt that some of the things I said they could relate to in their lives, and a lot of people joined the channel after watching it, which was very nice, both as a member and as a subscriber, which I really appreciated, and just said some really, really lovely, lovely things. So it was worth it for me. I got a lot out of it. I hope you do too, if you haven't seen it. Jonathan Pyle has seen it, says it's epic. Thank you. I really appreciate that. But it's not the only video that was released within the last 7 days, ladies and gentlemen, was it? Because my video on the Commonplace book came out as well. And that was a lot of fun to do. I did it slightly differently than my normal production. For one thing, my wife was kind enough to film me. So I didn't use a tripod. You may have noticed that the POV switches. Part of that was showing off the desk. I'm in a love affair with my desk, and I'm going to maximize it as a plot. But my wife was really kind in filming it, so it's got a little bit of a more of a handheld feel, which I wanted, because I do feel that tripods, sort of like what we have now, it's great, it's very professional, but it also gives you a little bit of a sterility, especially when everything's all square. The live show's at an angle, so at least my shelves have a diminishing, vanishing point on on their perspective. But straight on, as it normally is a little sterile. But which is good for many videos. But my wife doing the handheld was great, and she was also sort of commenting and guiding me behind the camera. There were a few things that really led to the creation of this video that I could attribute to my darling Helen. And one was how, and it might be one of the most important things with a commonplace book, and that is journals are often intensely personal. They are, for me, certainly my description, my ongoing conversation with my internal emotional landscape. I'm describing it. I'm going into minute detail on my fears and my anxieties and my hopes and dreams too. It's not all bad, but it's very personal. And a commonplace book gives you an opportunity to write and write a lot on something that's not personal. That might be personal in a way. It tells something about you because you have placed importance on it, but it's not describing your love life or your fears of, another Great Depression or something, the economy collapsing or nuclear war or something, scary things. It's more, I'm taking on a project. I'm going to learn Italian. I'll use this commonplace book as actually that's more of a project notebook. But let me use a better example. I found this really inspirational quote by Churchill or something, and you write it down. And then you index it. So you guys know what a commonplace book is. But so the commonplace book video just really worked really well because I had a nice connection with my wife while I was filming it. She was right there. I felt like I was speaking to somebody that I love because I was speaking to my wife, and I think it came across in the video. And there was a lot of really interesting information in there. I did a lot of research, but I had enough for I don't even know how many videos. I may revisit that topic at some point because it is something I do quite a bit, but I also put it in my journal. I'm a little sloppy. So I don't often just dedicate one book to it, and I should. All right, let me take a quick break for a second and recognize Inky Weens with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. So glad to catch a live, even though I'm a few minutes late. Well, don't worry about being late, my friend, because I always keep these up. I read somewhere on YouTube, about YouTube rather, that it's better for your YouTube channel if you delete your live streams. That you should do them, interact, and then delete them. And I don't know why. They're supposed to drag down your overall channel views, but I find that people still watch ones from 2 years ago and comment and say interesting things and keep the conversation going. So I have no desire on taking these down. I'm just going to leave them up. I feel like it works for us, our community. So I will keep them up, and you can always catch it. Steve Ruckel, my friend, my dear friend. I have a quote commonplace book. I always struggle with building an index. Me too, Steve. I covered it in the video itself. I cannot tell you how many times I start a new commonplace book and then I forget. I always say I'm going to put one in the front. In fact, I would love to create a journal that is a commonplace book, more like a notebook. I should partner with one of my friends. I just have an index there, maybe 4 or 5 pages of index, because I always forget. I end up shoving it in the back. So I'm with you, buddy, 100%. John Hayes with a Helen-specific question, which I will take on. Does Helen own mostly ladies' fountain pens, or are they mostly, for me, looks like ladies type or slender, smaller in size? Hi, John. No, she does not. Gender and fountain pens, probably a sticky subject that one may want to tread lightly in. Advising myself. I will say specifically to my wife, she's not someone who gravitates towards pink slender pens or some such. She gravitates towards extremely interesting fountain pens. My wife has a stupendous collection. One of the best collections of fountain pens I've ever seen. My wife's. I've shown it on the channel. I should probably show it again. She has a vanishing point that's brilliant. One of the prettiest ones. I forget the name. It's the blue carbon fiber, I think. I think that's the color, not the material, but I haven't seen that pen in a while. It's beautiful. It's a fantastic vanishing point. And then she has this incredible vintage Chinese pen that is some particular type of finish that I forget. She told me and it's lost. And she has a few others. She has a really gorgeous Japanese pen that we bought at the DC Pen Show. So I don't see anything gendered in what she buys. If I were to characterize my wife's pen collection, I would say it's very iconoclastic. It's very, very much an artist selecting their tools. And my wife doesn't care about status. She doesn't care what anybody else thinks about it. It's one of my favorite collections because it's kind of weird and it's kind of beautiful. Oh, she has my Moon Man too. That big Moon Man pen is now hers. That's in her collection. So really good stuff. Scott Lasky, my brother in arms. Hello, Scotty. She doesn't have an Edson. She does not have an Edson. But she could use mine anytime she likes because my wife is very gentle with fountain pens. But no, she does not have an Edson. I sometimes think that I could give away all my pens and just keep the Waterman Edson. It's that good. But, I'd never part with my 149 and a bunch of other stuff. Kaylee, hey, I think the idea of ladies' pens went out when the ballpoint came in nowadays. Who cares? I agree, but it's funny. Those sort of gendered items do exist in a lot of different fields. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Take wristwatches, for instance. Almost every watch company has a men's and women's, with the woman's being more diminutive. And it's really odd because Ernest Hemingway is one of the kind of toughest guys of all time. He wore a 36-inch wrist watch. Mine's a 41, which is, modern, kind of big. His was 36. That's probably the size of the face of this watch. Nowadays, any 36 millimeter watch is considered a lady's watch. I wear a Cartier Tank, which I really love. It's, in some circles, considered a lady's watch. I think that's nonsense. There's a part of me that would wear just small watches. I don't concern myself too much with gender. I buy pink pens. You've seen them. Sometimes it's because they just look so good when I film with them. That's my motivation. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I do that crosses gender lines. I guess the funniest thing that I do that crosses gender lines, if I can be transparent with you guys, is that I bought this cologne. I'm not a cologne guy. I don't really wear cologne or anything. But I bought number 89 from Floris in London. And it's the cologne that the real James Bond wore. And by that, I mean in the book. And I was curious what it was like. I don't like it. I don't get it. It smells like soapy and strange to me. So I don't wear it. I like that I own it, but I don't wear it. So there were all these samples that came with it. My wife and I were like checking them out, and she's like, I really like this one. Why don't you wear that on occasion? So I'm like, okay. So I bought it, and I wore it, and I wear it occasionally, and it turns out it's a woman's perfume. So I guess I wear women's perfume sometimes, and you know what? I'm okay with that. It's very musky, so there you have it. There you have it. Okay, let's talk about some other stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Okay, so here's a couple things I need to tell you, and then we're going to get into what I mean by bored with fountain pens, because it's an interesting topic. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But a couple other things I really want to cover with you. One is I'm going to get into some more videos like the Commonplace book. I'm going to do sort of project journals, maybe some more in diaries. I need to be motivated. Here's a cool book I want to share with you too. I'll share that with you in a minute. This book is called Remarkable Diaries. And then I still want to show you which pens I'm using. I can do that quickly. I want to do some more about study techniques, about thinking, because I really feel like, especially in the United States of America, we all need crash courses on critical thinking. Critical thinking. You hear something, you go and you investigate it. So I want to do some stuff like kind of productivity study, reading, taking notes on reading, that kind of thing, learning, and those kind of topics. So I'm going to work some of those in typical Hemingway Jones style, always with fountain pens as part of it. In my life, a river of ink runs through everything I do. So a river runs through it, and it's probably a Clé de Saphir. It probably is. Mark Brigden asking me, HJ, do you have Tricker boots or shoes? I don't know if you're making fun of me. I honestly don't know what Tricker boots are. If this embarrasses me because I read that, I just found that an interesting comment, and it gives me a transition too. I don't know what those are. I'm really sorry. Is that a brand? But cool. I can tell you guys, though, I actually bought sneakers. I haven't bought sneakers in years. I don't wear sneakers, but I bought these Adidas Sambas in like tan with blue lines that are really smart looking. And I'm kind of impressed with myself because it's good to break your routines and do something a bit different. So, Allie J, you know, it's funny. I was thinking of you with this book. Allie J says, every time you show a book, my personal library grows. Yes. And thank you, Allie J, for that transition, because I have now new shelves. I think you know, if you see me looking off in the distance, if you're watching this and not listening, I am looking off at 3 giant bookcases that I put in on my walls. I showed it on the channel. I hope you got to see it. They're getting full, guys. It's scary, but they're getting full. One of the shelves, which is right in front of me, has what is becoming my kind of fountain pen journaling library. And it has, I'm going to tell you some of what I have, some that's going to remain secret. I was going to keep this book secret, but I'm going to share. But like the illustrated pen histories over there, the Madmen's library, Michael Fiedler's books, you're going to meet him in a couple weeks on the channel. He's giving some amazing handwriting tips, which I think will motivate you all, inspire you all, as it did me. So he gave me his book, The Working Journal. Fascinating piece. We talk all about it. Sort of like what I did with Gravitas. That's coming next week. The Magic of Handwriting, the Gert Mueller book, Symes Letter Writer, The Lost Art of Handwriting, Frida Kahlo's journal, the Notebook, Roland Allen's book, which I didn't read, but I need to. And a few others, which I want to keep secret for now, including this Remarkable Diaries. But before we get to this Remarkable Diaries book, I do want to let you know which video is coming up this week. I always like to do a little commercial for the channel, so please don't miss this week's video. Why? Because every few months I feel I put up an epic video. There's one coming, which I'm ready to film, but this one is filmed and it's coming out this week. It's called The Top 5 Indestructible Fountain Pens. And I think the other title is called The Top 5 Bomb-Proof Fountain Pens, because you really get two titles, one on the thumbnail, one as the title of the video. So the idea is, which are those fountain pens that you can really beat on, that you can just destroy and not hurt? So I found at least five, that are fitting the bill. I talk about why, how they write, all that. So super excited to see this one being released. I don't want to sound immodest, but it's very good, very informative. And I don't know if anyone ever covered that topic. You guys know me. I don't really check out other channels. But even if they did, I always have an original take, so I am unconcerned. But absolutely original, interesting title. So I think you're going to like it. John Hayes says the volcano one. Perhaps. Possibly, maybe. Tracy Simpson, the Lilliput, that's a good call, actually. Very good call. I'm not sure if it's in there or not. Here's one of the funny things, too. I haven't watched this video myself in about 2 months, because I would have filmed it back in February, and now it's airing in April. So, I know some of the ones that are on there, and I think you might too, but the whole list off the top of my head, probably not. I'd probably have to look. So I see a lot of guys and people of all types making comments, and there's really good comments, you guys. Tracy's got a good comment, as I would expect. Lots of good comments. Okay, so that's what's coming this week. Oh, brilliant. All right, let me see if Ecamm wants to help out. Oh yeah, look, Ecamm's were, oh boy, okay, mostly working. So here we have a book. All right, I'm gonna go back to me because I need to move the camera a little bit. I don't like you to get nauseous, so I'll move the camera and then I go back so that it's not terrible. Okay, so this book is called Remarkable Diaries. And this is a great book to help me to make videos on diaries and journals, even though you guys didn't seem to really like the one that I put out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be inspired to do any more, which is part of the reason why I'm sharing this with you. But I might, because inspiration's funny with me. It comes from interesting places. And I need a bit more real estate here. I have just too much stuff. All right, let me try this again. This book is big, guys. I'm going to try to move the camera. All right, just bear with me if you would. Okay, I think I have enough room now. Please excuse me for your viewing pleasure. Okay. And I'll describe this for those of you that listen, because a lot of you tell me that you listen, you don't watch, so I don't want you left out. Okay, so this is a really interesting book. It's published by a company that normally makes guidebooks for cities and things, DK. Remarkable Diaries, the World's Greatest Diaries. And this is a fantastic source for penmanship, as well as giving you the story behind these awesome diaries. Look at this one. Journey to Lapland in May of 1732. What a beautiful book. Here's another one. Linnaeus. I lived on a street named Linnean Street in Cambridge, Massachusetts for many years ago. All kinds of interesting stuff. Captain Cook. This is something I've been dying to cover on the channel. The Voyages of Captain Cook. In Our Time did a fantastic podcast on this. His handwriting, if you can see it or if you can't, it's very, very of the time, which would be late 18th century. Very beautiful, very regular, especially consider it was probably written on ship. But there seems to be some sort of write-overs, which is interesting. A couple cross-outs and a couple places where he's writing in the margin. So really interesting stuff. And then on the next page, they have some more beautiful beautiful letter D that has, it sort of slopes forward and curves. So absolutely beautiful. So De Goya, this is Mozart and his music. Fantastic stuff here. Lewis and Clark, one of the most epic travel journals of all time. Surprisingly good handwriting, considering the circumstances they would have written under. Gentleman Jack, the real Gentleman Jack, if you're familiar with the story. Pretty great stuff there. Secret Passions. I just read that in there. I'm not commentating. This is interesting. This is gorgeous. So Voyage Around the World. Rose de Saluces de Frey Cine. I probably mangled that. But it's a gorgeous document with a library stamp and an incredible regular hand. It's absolutely beautiful. Now we're getting into Delacroix, one of my favorite artists, one of the probably the national painter of France. Did what? Freedom? Is it Liberty Leads the Way or Freedom Leads the Way? Pretty great painting for a free country, the free country of France. Charles Darwin's journal, the great genius of Charles Darwin. I don't know whose that one was. Queen Victoria. You want to see what her hand looked like? It's here. It's beautiful. It's more relaxed than I would have expected. She has a very dramatic Y, which I quite like. Kierkegaard. All right, John Ruskin. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is great. So why is this great about John Ruskin? Because this is his studies of the Gothic, probably in Venice. I'm not sure. Actually, it looks like it says near France. It's a shame that they dropped a... Oh, no, it says Venetian sketchbooks. Okay. I thought that said France right there, but it must say... Oh, it says Frari. Okay, that makes sense. So in Venice, Ruskin used to carry a ladder around with him just so he could get up and look at the ornaments, the Gothic ornaments on the different columns and things. Okay, so I'll do a couple more in at the end here. There are so many. This actually, here's Anne Frank. We were speaking about that a few weeks back. How heartbreaking is that? There's a picture of her teddy bear, which she has drawn very well with writing all around it. Heartbreaking. Lots on Anne Frank as well. There should be. Oh, and look who it is. Frida Kahlo. Beautiful. Expressive. I can't read it. My friend Alejandra can. So that must be great. I have to go to the translations in mine, and it takes some of the power away. Okay, so lots of great stuff here. Derek Jarman, movie director. Fantastic handwriting, Mr. Jarman. Okay. Then they talk about some other ones. They talk about Kurt Cobain in here, but there's no picture. So, a brilliant piece of literature. I'm looking for the price. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, here we go. $30. $30 for all this. It's amazing. Really great stuff. Love it. Love stuff like that. I hope you do too. So this is all part of my new library I'm very proud of. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to share with you which pens I'm writing with these days. And it's no surprise, perhaps, that things haven't changed much. So, we have the Watchman Edson. Oh, Watchman, how I love thee. I won't spend a lot of time on this because it's not much different than last week. This is the Pilot Custom 823. I'm really having a hard time with this camera right now. Sorry. Because I'm not sure which way it's pointing. I can't see. There we go. Okay. So the Pilot Custom 823, which has some Eclata Sapphire in it, I'm waiting for this to run down because I want to put in some Cuttlefish Brown ink, which I think will be perfect. I never put the clips on the outside because they'll rub together if you do. Quran, gorgeous, beautiful. You're going to Paris, Water and Quran with me. All these pens may be, who knows. And still Schaefer, which I absolutely adore. All right, so what do I have to tell you about the Pilot Custom 823? Well, simply that I am doing an absolutely epic video on the Pilot Custom 823. My goal is to do the definitive video, the one that speaks about everything, that gives you a full idea of the pen. It has a huge surprise in it, huge, which I'll probably unveil before it airs. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one way up. So I think I can film it this weekend, and it probably is going to take me a good solid week to edit it, is what I have in mind. And then I'll probably put it up in a week or two after that. I'll just bump the rest of my schedule because it has so much in it, so much. And I went to Pilot directly for information. There are so many misconceptions about the Pilot Custom 823 out there that people are espousing as fact. And I think you know that I'm a little cheeky. I love refuting false information, or sort of those things that we say, that we, myself included sometimes, that you carry things that you hear and you think it's true, and then later you go, why didn't I think a little more critically? So I, in advance, went and asked Pilot, is this true? Is this true? Can you give me a little more information on this, that, and the other thing? And they've been really brilliant, really nice. Some brands are nice. Some brands are not so nice. Some brands promote and some brands obstruct. I don't know why, but Pilot has been absolutely brilliant, and I'm delighted to do this. It's going to be a very heavy lift because it's a pen that deserves serious consideration and a truly epic video of all my powers that I can to make one. And I'm also working on one for my old frenemy, the Lamy 2000, from a design point of view, that I'm editing presently. So this will be done soon as well. On the on the Lamy 2000, the L2K. That's coming out. Some other pens I have handy. The epic and unbelievable Watchman Filiuses. Two of them. One in purple-ish and one in Bliss. I guess it's purple. I don't know. I don't know what color this is. It's gorgeous. I mean, it's kind of like a sapphire, really. But then so's this. But yet it's different. So, not sure. And I still have my Gravitas here. I'm still reaching for my Gravitas. And it's funny, the conversation with Ben Walsh is what inspired me to do the 823 video. Because he made this one as a riff on the 823, and it made me think about the 823 more. And then I decided to make the definitive video on Pilot Custom 823, which is coming out very soon. Very soon indeed. Oh, thanks for all the likes, guys. I see them flying by. I must be doing something right. Thank you. Okay. Okay. All right, so we've covered a lot so far. Really impressed with this. Something else I'm doing, I got a new journal from my friend at Bottega Obscura, which was shocking and so touching. It literally was just there, not predicated on anything. He has the most beautiful handwriting, and he sent a note and he said that this is for you because you inspire me so much and your videos are so inspiring and they inspire so many people, which is so nice, so kind, so touching. He is the nicest guy. I'm just so glad I met him. And this is probably the most beautiful journal I've ever seen in my life. And that is no exaggeration. It's so beautiful, in fact, that I am going to do a video on it. And I might incorporate bookbinding into the video to say how beautiful this is and why. So that is something I'm working on. You should see that very, very soon. Very, very soon. So very, very excited about that. Bottega Obscura. He's such an artist. Bottega Obscura doesn't always open his shop. So, and then he'll make something for me. And it has my initials on it and everything. It's gorgeous. I wish I could show you, but I'm saving it for a video because I think it'll be better. You'll like it. It's more of a surprise. Okay. So bored with fountain pens, guys. You know, I think that being bored of certain things and certain aspects of this hobby actually helps you to refine your taste and what works for you. And what I mean by that is that I see a lot of fountain pens that come up, and some of them are brilliant, and some of them I'm wondering what all the fuss is. And I often deconstruct my own taste, and I'm going to give you some examples of some things I saw. There's a Renoir fountain pen from Montblanc that I just think is just kind of dreadful. I don't get their aesthetic all the time. I like when they're toned down. One of the reasons why I really love the Egyptomania, beside the fact that it has a heritage nib on it, and if you ever have a chance to get a Montblanc heritage nib, please do. It's unique. It's an interesting writing experience, very soft, very fun to use. But the pen itself is kind of low key. It's got an elegance to it. It's in a vintage scale. It's a little confounding. It doesn't have the usual logo. It's really interesting. The Renoir is just like, let's just throw painterly elements onto a barrel and hope for the best. I'm just really getting tired of special editions that are more decorative than anything else. They just came out with a Meisterstück around the world in 80 days, which is interesting because it looks like it's based on a 149 rather than the slimmer models that they've done. But I'm not sure about it. I have mixed feelings. It looks a little steampunk. It's a little overdone. It's meant to look like a train. It covers the period that Phileas Fogg was in America for 36 days. And it looks kind of overdone, overplayed. The other thing is when I see things like special edition pens, but they have boring nibs. And it just feels almost like it's just more of a, I know I call them Yowo nib delivery devices, but I don't want to keep leaning on my own coined phrases. I want to sort of say they feel like inexpensive pens in expensive disguises. So it's a Yowo nib off the shelf. They haven't done much to it. You put it in a new acrylic. Maybe you brand it. Maybe you co-brand it. But you put it out, try to generate some marketing buzz, and then you sell it. Not that exciting to me anymore. It just kind of bores me, and the formula is a little boring. And I want different things. I want makers that do things differently. I like Ian Schoen, who knows no limits in the things he produces. He just makes really unique and interesting stuff. Ben Walsh is a bit of a mad lad too, out there inventing, pushing boundaries. Hiron from Magna Carta with his incredible nib. I've been speaking with the folks from Yard of Lead. I think you guys know that. We're going to work together. They approached me, but I'm super excited about it because they are an artisanal English brand that I'm still learning about, but they make everything right in Birmingham in the jewelry district, which is pretty exciting. They have the same machines, everything that they've always used. They go back, some of them, till, I think he said the 1950s, some of the machines. So pretty interesting there. I guess I like the mad ones. Mad for life, mad to burn from both ends, like glorious Roman candles. The more staid sort of, I guess I don't want to add another Yowo nib that hasn't been modified or turned into a cursive italic or something. I don't know. I don't want another safari in two different colors with a grip that's one color and the pen body another. It's just boring. And I don't know what I would say if I was reviewing some of these things. I think you all deserve unvarnished honesty. And if something is wholly boring and doesn't really justify its existence, and if someone puts one of those into my hand and says, talk about it, I think I would. Now, I do treat every pen that I handle as an individual item because of that. And I do feel that there are different categories and things that you do talk about. Sometimes it's justifiable. My wife's pen by Soy, which is, I think it's Yorishi. I'd have to ask her. I forget. I haven't seen it since she bought it at the pen show. I really want to see it. But it has a Schmidt nib on it because he makes pen bodies and it's the decoration. He doesn't make nibs. That's not what he does. So, okay, I understand that. And we spent money on that. And I feel like we got a tremendous value because it's gorgeous. I want to recognize the amazing Marcus Souza with a super chat. 30R. I'm not sure which currency that is, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Hell, he's taken off. Good night, Marcus. I'm sorry. It's the first comment I've seen of yours, but thank you. I appreciate the contribution to keeping the lights on. Keeping the lights fund going. So thank you. I appreciate it. You're a good egg, my friend. I really appreciate it. So, I don't know. I think that my taste and the direction of the channel is going towards interesting and slightly offbeat, but also toward handwriting, expression. I guess we were always doing that. I guess we're doing the same thing, but more of it. Journaling, and always for inspiration. And I guess if I don't find inspiration in something, I can't really share it with you. If I'm not feeling it, I think it would show. I am terrible at hiding my feelings. My boss says that about me. That when I'm in business meetings, he just knows what I'm thinking because the whole time I'm like, I just can't. I can't hide it, and I'm so sort of brave. I don't sugarcoat. I'm not impolite. I don't like to be impolite, but neither do I tone things down or am I ever anything other than that which I am. So, yeah, hard for me to pretend I like something when I don't. Eric Linneman, Your history of the Wanderer was wonderful. Perhaps more history stories of infamous pen brands. That'd be fun. I do try to incorporate some kind of history with each review of a pen that I do. Some brands you can't. Some just don't really have anything. I tried with Jinhao and they don't have much of a story at all. It was like they were this Chinese company, now they're that Chinese company. Just not very fun. Hero has an amazing story. I'm not sure if I could get to the heart of it, but they sure do. But Jinhao's was kind of boring, but I would certainly love to do that. So, yeah, I think I'll be doing a lot more history-oriented stuff. I always like to keep the videos interesting. I don't want to weigh pens and measure pens and write the same sentence over and over. I think you guys would get bored of that. I think I would like to talk more about designers when I know about them, history, reception, heritage, materials, and always design. I'll always lean heavily on design. And I always try to sort of relate it to something offbeat. I think it's a nice dissonance. If you talk about the clip of the safari with Klaus Oldenburg, it's fun, but I think it's apropos. But it's not a connection maybe that most would make, but I do. Tracy Simpson says something really nice to everyone and to this community. I really love the show and the chat. It really helped take my mind off family crisis I'm experiencing at the moment. Such a lively and friendly chat with lovely people. Tracy, I'm sorry to hear you're going through something tough. I'm really happy that me and this community could be here for you. That's the purpose of this channel. And that's also why I've steered clear of things that are controversial or political. Occasionally those things just touch the channel. I probably should talk about tariffs and how that's going to affect your pen purchases, and it will. But that's a story for another night. But Tracy, I just appreciate you being here. I hope things get better in your world. I find circumstances are like the tides. There's cruel tides, there's gentle tides. So I hope your tides are gentle. And thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate it. So very cool stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a great video coming up for you this week. The 5 most indestructible fountain pens. I really hope you like it. I'd love to hear what you think when you watch it. Please leave a comment. What I'm most interested in is, did you guess any of them or all of them? I'd be very curious to know which ones you like. So that would be a lot of fun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my voice is almost gone, so I think it's time for me to say good night. But I do want to thank you all. Thank you for being a part of this channel, whether you're a member or just a regular viewer or occasionally drop by, whatever it is. I appreciate you being here. It's a lot of fun to meet you all. You're all so brilliant in the comments. I appreciate it. I still try to at least read everyone if I cannot answer it, but I do love the comments and I appreciate them. So thank you all. I'll see you Thursday with a new video, and we'll be back next week with another exciting live show. So thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you further up the road. Have a good night.